to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Wednesday in the NBA. It's the
We're here in Miami, Florida, and a look here at the downtown against our starting lineups. A look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward position. And then for the Miami Heat, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4. Duncan kicks to Parker, floats one, and out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great teams until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
Wade against Green. Shot clock at 6. Shoots a fader. Off the left rim and out.
Boy, for my taste, he's far too inconsistent with that shot. I mean, he's got to make those if he's going to take his game to the next level. You know, people look at Mario Chalmers and say he might not be your typical point guard. He's not a big-time penetrator or playmaker, but he's a good fit for the Heat with his active defense and spot-up shooting from long range. I think it's a hand-in-glove fit, actually.
The 3 from LeBron. Miami no good on that time either. Spurs have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And Parker, here we go. The tray. That doesn't go either for Green. And Chalmers, a 3-time All-American, NCAA champion his junior season at Kansas, received the Most Outstanding Player Award for that 2008 tournament.
Hit what was probably the biggest shot in Kansas history, the 3-pointer that sent that game against Memphis into overtime that allowed the Jayhawks to go on and win that national championship.
Miami's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Wade outside. Pass to Chalmers. Dishes it to Haslam. Shot is no good. Great D that time from Duncan.
Not really the start they wanted. They missed 3 of their first 4 shots from the field.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
And Leonard gets it to go.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
And here's Chalmers from the arc. Here's Bosh. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He's almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Shane Battier is checked in for Miami. Green dishes to Splitter. Pass to Parker. Makes the lead pass. No good from Duncan. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. He hits both from the strike.
Well, Kawhi Leonard taken 15th overall in the 2011 draft. And believe it or not, he's the Spurs' highest drafted rookie since they took Tim Duncan, #1 overall back in '97. It just shows you the legacy of the Spurs' success over the years.
Gets the bucket.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich and I got a chance to talk for a bit. He said they'll have to do a good job moving their feet on the defensive end or they'll get dunked on all night. He told me that they are very aware of the slashers and finishers they're facing and will try to turn them into jump shooters. Let's see how successful they are, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks. And going back to Kawhi Leonard, he earned minutes in Coach Popovich's rotation from the first game on.
And part of the reason he did, he's got great versatility defensively primarily, but he's a quick learner, a quick study, understands things, doesn't take long to pick things up. And when you're a first-year player, that can separate you from a lot of guys and get you in the rotation, especially with a veteran team like the Spurs.
1:37 left here in the first quarter. And that one's good. Parker.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
He feeds it to Cole. Heat moving the ball around. LeBron kicks to Anderson. Defended by Bonnie. A reverse. And the layup is up and in. Anderson's got his first points in this one.
Man, he shows us he knows how to finish with a flourish.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
Miami trailing. LeBron passes to Cole. Ray Allen is on the wing. Takes a three. And again, Miami with the triple.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
Ginobili has got it. Ginobili, that's good.
You know, there aren't many guys like him, players who can accelerate to the rim and finish with a flourish more often than not.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. The three from LeBron. San Antonio with the rebound. Parker outside. Passes it to Dion. Back to Parker. That's good. Parker's got 6 points.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
Wrong. And so both teams trading buckets as we end.
Welcome, basketball fans, to 2K Sports. I'm David Bruce. Wednesday in the NBA.
We're here in Miami, Florida, as we see a beautiful bird's eye view. A quick check now of the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward position. And for the Heat, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4 spot. And here's LeBron outside. It's rebounded by Splitter.
Well, if you're going to learn from someone, you might as well take some lessons from Tim Duncan. That's what Thiago Splitter has done in San Antonio, really kind of growing up under the tutelage of one of the great players of all time. Well, with him, what immediately comes to mind is the long-range shooting. I mean, he can knock down shots from anywhere, and of course, that forces the defense to locate him at all times.
And you know, at the end of the day, Steve, you just have to respect his overall defensive acumen. I mean, it's not just one thing he does well at that end. He knows how to guard from A to Z.
And Splitter taken 28th by the Spurs way back in 2007 draft, but they had to wait 3 seasons for him to come over from Spain. And as Greg Popovich was saying just this past season, he's finally showing what he can do because he's been healthy.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin. And I think it was a wait worth making,
yes,
quite honestly. I mean, one of the premier backup centers in the NBA the last 3 seasons, and he earned himself a nice payday with his new contract, too.
LeBron, no good. We've seen a quick start here for the Spurs. It's a 5-point game. Parker outside. He kicks to Green. Outside Leonard. Lots of room. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
A dramatic improvement for the San Antonio Spurs defensively last season, guys. Coach Park had suggested that they might have gotten too old to be an elite defensive team anymore, but that wasn't the case. I think he challenged them a little bit, and they raised the bar of their defensive performance.
Wade kicks to LeBron. It's up a 3. Another miss by LeBron. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. The drive by Green. And it's going to be 2 free throws. True contact on the shot. And Clark, you mentioned the defensive improvement of the Spurs. Going into last season, their stat gurus told them they needed to focus even more on contesting shots, even if that meant committing more fouls or allowing more offensive rebounds.
Well, and that's exactly what they did, Kevin. They gave up a few more offensive rebounds, fouled slightly more than they had the prior season, but they were better in terms of shot blocks, steals, and they held their opponents to a lower field goal percentage. So it's a great example of getting an edge from advanced stats.
You know, it's always fun to play the hypothetical game with players. One with LeBron is just how good is he? Like, would he be able to go deep in March Madness playing with a good high school team? That might not be as ridiculous as you think.
And Clark, you talked about LeBron and the college level. He looks like he's playing against college players, you know, Steve, with his strength and his size.
Well, he can do everything. No matter what you ask of him on the floor, he can do it. He can play point guard, he can play power forward, and defensively, how about last year during the playoffs? 1 minute he's guarding David West, in the next series he's guarding Tony Parker. So the versatility is just incredible.
Off the charts, you're right. Green kicks to Parker. Parker, right side. Back to Green. He feeds it to Leonard. Clock at 6. From deep. And it's D. Wade with the rebound. The Heat trail by 6. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with Eric Spoelstra. They'll be up against a future Hall of Famer in Tim Duncan in this one, and I asked him how Duncan changes what they do on the defensive end. He relayed that he told his guys not to be over-aggressive with him in the post, saying, if we start fighting on every fake he throws our way, we'll all be in foul trouble. We can't let that happen. We'll see if they can avoid just that, guys.
Thanks again, Doris. And Green gets it to go. Miami's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by.
Coach Popovich was fine last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
Knocks it loose. Splitter passes to Parker. Parker left side. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Now you can tell what the crowd thinks about that call.
Yeah, they erupted as soon as the whistle blew.
And the Spurs making a change here. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Dial comes in for Tim Duncan. Otto Ginobili's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Bellinelli in for Daniel Green. And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually, you know, kind of let the league know every once in a while. But if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while.
Parker with the steal. We've got 1:08 left to play here in the first. Ginobili can't hit.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Feeds it to LeBron. It's good. This game is all even. LeBron's got 5 points so far.
How many times have we seen him do that? Just batter a defense with his ability to explode to the basket.
Bellinelli dishes to Diao. Ginobili. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing, doesn't it, Steve?
It sure does, and now it's to the point where they just feel unstoppable. And poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
And Diao kicks to Parker. Dishes it to Bellinelli. And there's the pass to Ginobili. Ginobili left side. Baseline try. It's all tied in Miami.